Well, welcome to Leadwell at the Lighthouse. I'm Chris Mitchell. This is my lovely wife, Gretchen. So good to be with you for our next episode in Leadwell. And so today I want to share with you a little bit about some of the things that come up in the leadership space around connection. So as a connection and culture coach, my job when people ask me to come in is to help teams really connect well and help adjust culture so that it can be really beneficial.
Right.
Yeah, so it's good to be here.
So what's on your mind for us today, Chris? What are you going to tell us about?
Yeah, well, I keep running into very similar things that help teams connect.
Yes.
And similar things that block teams connecting. And I kept running into these themes over and over and over again. Like the way that they were thinking, the way that they were behaving. And I'm always trying to find what's underneath all of that. And so a massive credit to Jamie Winship, who I'm going to share a lot of his material. He's the one who's framed a lot of this in the way that I've seen it. I've heard it from different people in different ways, but I actually like the way that he frames this the best. And because we're into value, identity, purpose, as people would have already heard in previous episodes, Jamie Winship is also big into identity, helping people, helping leaders find their true identity and what that actually means. And he's a fascinating guy, so I'll let our listeners go and check him out. But yeah, massive credit to him and the way that he's put this together from his research, because our listeners will know we're really interested in the leadership space of helping people understand their value, their identity, and their purpose. But in Jamie's work, he's found that sometimes people don't hold on to the truth of their identity. And as he was researching that with his team, he's like, why is this the case? And they found that one of the reasons was because of how people see the world. And in our last episode, we were talking about core beliefs and
how we see the world.
yeah.
But we don't even realize we're seeing it that way.
That's right. And so maybe even this is a continuation from core beliefs. And we spoke about core beliefs and what we believe and how some of it's unconscious, but what we think it ends up being what we expect and what we want to have happen. So that kind of, law of the world really applies here when we look at the way people see the world. And I find this super fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so where do we start?
Where do we start? Well, Jamie frames it like this. There are two worldviews, two ways to see the world. And from my understanding, he shared this at Harvard with a group of fellows, and he presented it to them to help and then ask them, which worldview do you have? And so I'll share that in a minute. But for our listeners, you can just find his stuff on YouTube. It's really quite profound. Just the insights that he got out of this. And he went back and he was studying economic models and sociological models. And for us in the psychology and education space, this really sits in this space. Anyway, sorry, I'm probably nerding out a little bit there. Let's just get to the topic. So he says there's two worldviews, and the first one is what he calls the separation worldview. Now, in the separation worldview, there are four key elements. So in each one, there's four key elements. Right. The first one is scarcity, where people see the world like there's not enough.
Yes.
There's not enough money.
There's not enough food.
There's not enough food. There's not enough good people. There's not enough in the leadership space. There's not enough good leaders. Right. There's not enough good teams. There's not enough time. Yeah. But everything is seen through this lens of there's not enough. Yeah, it's all lack. Yeah. And so there's this scarcity element. Yeah. Everything's scarce. And so how do we get it? Which kind of leads us to the next one. And the next one is, so we have to make things certain. So certainty is the second point. Right. And so people in a leadership position or people in any position try to make things certain. And one of the ways we do this is we try and find the way. And usually there's only one way. And if we can get that way right, then we'll be certain to get the outcome that we want. Yeah. The problem is the world's not always like that, and we'll unpack that.
There's multiple ways to do everything.
There's multiple ways to do, which is really fascinating. But the separation worldview is focused on if there's scarcity and there's not enough, I have to try and make things certain. And so I've got to find the one way. Often it's the one way to do that. Which then leads us to the third element, which is perfection.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we can't
do that perfectly.
You've got to do it absolutely perfectly.
It's
because
exhausting.
that's right. That leads to certainty.
Yes.
Now, in the leadership space, when you're working with a perfectionist, it is incredibly tiring. Like there is no person in a team that can suck the energy out of people more than a perfectionist, because they're just so driven.
Oh, no.
Yes, I know. Yep. Yep. And in lots of spaces, that's been me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure all of us have.
All of us have an element of perfectionism. But the perfectionistic element inside of us is actually connected. It sees that the only way to survive the world is to be perfect, and we can't handle any failure.
To avoid at all costs.
Yeah, avoid failure at all costs. Now, this is absolutely fascinating. So we're actually doing this podcast in Australia, and we have a bit of a tall poppy syndrome here, which is super fascinating in the dynamics of people, because we don't like supporting people who are achieving well.
No, which is
and we like
ridiculous.
to cut, if someone rises above everybody else, like a tall poppy growing faster than all of the other flowers, we want to cut it off so that everybody's the same. Well,
so as not to make people feel bad.
Yeah, not to make people feel bad. So then, but how do we how do we actually achieve anything then? And lots of people are really, really strive and driven to achieve to get things perfect. And so one of the fascinating things is sometimes we lop off the perfectionists. And so the perfectionist has striven, there we go. Strove all of their life to try and get everything perfect.
Yeah.
So that they can achieve what they want to achieve, because they need to have certainty, because there's scarcity. But now the culture cuts them
from fear.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. Like all of this is going to generate fear-based.
I'm afraid because there's not enough.
Yeah.
And I have to work hard.
Yep.
And I have to make it all fit in the box so that I can be sure and certain. And I've got to do it perfectly so that I don't fail, and so that I'm going to be okay.
And the thing I see is it all's coming out of fear, and it's all making fear.
Yeah.
It's just this fear cycle. And so the fourth element then is self-interest. It's about me first.
So I've got to get the stuff. If there's not enough, I've got to run and get the first bit, and I've got to get it for me and my family or whoever
And we see this in teams and leadership all of the time. People are like, okay, there's not enough positions, and I'm not earning enough money, so I have to work my way up the ladder. So the only way that I can do that is to try and be a perfectionist. So I have to be better than everybody else. I have to make things to be really certain, and I have to be me focused. Now, no team works well in that scenario. No team works well if somebody's operating out of a scarcity worldview.
And I remember hearing that there was enough food to feed the whole world 1.5 times.
Yes, yeah.
But because of this kind of scarcity perspective, we then grab and hoard and hold on to stuff. And so we stop people being able to receive.
So we can't share.
So we actually make this happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So in the business space, I've been listening to some people doing work about transforming the business ideology. And it's all about that everybody should be able to prosper in business. So what does a transaction look like where everybody does well? Yeah. And so they're moving away from the model. So like take the example they gave was a real estate model where this young guy just found this house this old lady needed to sell so that she could go into retirement, and he just beat the price down. And then everybody applauded him because he'd got such a great price for this house, but he'd actually robbed this lady of what the house was worth. And so now this lady needs to work, needs to find a way to stay alive on such little money. Like there's no caring, there's no sharing. And you could see this real estate agent who was applauded by people was just operating out of scarcity worldview. And so it's just self-interest. And so this scarcity worldview generates a whole lot of things in our culture which a lot of people don't like and is not helpful. So greed, selfishness, corruption, like all of that is coming out of one or more of these elements of separation worldview.
Wow.
We said that it's all fear-based. And so the thing that supports it is like everybody needs to produce. And so it's very production focused. And so I've been in the education sector and the leadership sector for a while. So everything's about measurement. We need to measure your performance. We need KPIs. And like, there's an element where tracking that can be really helpful.
Yes.
But there's a part where if the way that we judge other people is only based on their production, then we're just setting up people for failure. And we're actually driving people into perfectionism, which is going to burn them out and draw all of the energy of collaboration out of the system.
Or the other side of it is if they, like, and I see this a lot in young people today, if they realize they can't reach the level of perfection, then they just quit.
Then they quit.
And they just let it go. And they're like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of, I don't care.
Yes. Yes. And I wonder if our young people are just actually responding to this separation worldview with no way to describe what it is.
Not really.
I actually got to share this with a team recently, and there was a young leader, an emerging leader in that. He's like, I just had major epiphanies. It was so fantastic. It's like, you've just described everything that I'm coming up against. This is fantastic. This is so helpful. So like you could see in a team or in a leadership context, this separation worldview, which again is often unconscious, is going to lead to a lot of anxiety in the team.
Yes.
And one of the things that really impacts...
dog eat dog.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's just going to drive self-interest. Yeah. It's going to drive, and that's going to drive...
People aren't going to share ideas. People aren't going to be collaborative. People are going to hold stuff back.
Exactly.
So that they can get the glory. Yeah.
Yep. So you end up with self-protection or self-promotion, as Jamie describes it.
Yeah.
So it's like I've either got to defend myself or I have to operate out of pride. Now, you tell me as a psychologist, what are the good things that come out of pride or come out of self-defensiveness? Anything?
Not a lot.
No. And I guess there's times where you need to protect yourself, really.
Right.
So,
and sometimes we have to back ourselves, and that's important. But
yeah,
that's probably
that's
different. To what you mean. Yeah.
That's like wise defense. There's some wisdom to that and encouragement to move forward into something, not arrogance or pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people in teams that I work with and we help with our relational leadership course. And they're like, man, I'm just surrounded by egocentric, arrogant people. And you can just see the separation worldview is just driving the development of those people. And so if we have a team or a culture that's all built on the separation worldview, you're never going to be able to escape from fear, anxiety, disconnection.
But it's not a team either.
No, it's not a team.
Because you're not working together.
That's right.
You're all individuals.
And no one can belong. And belonging is massive.
It's so important.
Yeah, like if you want to work really well in a team, if you got that sense of belonging, you'll give your heart. You'll give everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at some of the best sports teams when they really get it clicking. You know, it's because I think it's because the players really feel like they belong. And when they belong, they'll give you everything. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So where's the hope, Chris?
Sure.
What's the other side?
So like, I've just painted that as completely negative, I guess. But we can see there's lots of unhelpfulness that comes out of the separation worldview. The other worldview is the connection worldview, as Jamie describes it. The connection worldview. So this is an understanding that everything in the world is connected. The purpose is to generate connection, which sounds like what we want with a team. Otherwise, there's no collaboration.
Right.
There's no belonging. So again, he's got 4 elements.
Yes. Okay.
So the first element is to believe that there's enough.
Right. So the opposite of scarcity.
Yeah.
There is enough.
There's enough.
There's enough for you. There's enough for me.
For me. Yeah. And to believe that. And so...
and to act like that.
And even like there's more than enough.
Yeah.
There's more than enough time. There's more than enough good people. There's more than enough solutions. We've got more than what we need to actually solve all of these problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can feel the difference. Like it feels different even saying it. Yeah.
I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But I can see that. Like you look at the world, like it's so rich in like all of what the world has, like in beauty and in like mineral deposits under the earth, in the ability to make food, in the oceans and all that. Like there is so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we understand the way that business can work, where everybody can do well,
if we work together,
if we work with an approach that is, how does both people succeed and benefit from a transaction,
Yeah.
we can actually generate wealth and generate health. And so this is not capitalism, but this is a way of developing wealth in people where we care and share. And so you could have all of these people working in micro businesses that had absolutely nothing, and you're moving them out of poverty.
Right. And because they're all dependent on each other as they all rise, like the boats all rise when the water rises.
When the tide rises,
Yeah.
So there's actually more than enough.
That's good.
Now, I guess in a financial point of view, I'm not the person to actually share that, to show you how to do that. But in a team sense, I can just show you how to add encouragement. Encouragement is like this magic drop. If you add encouragement to your team and you start encouraging, there's more than enough courage for everybody to face every problem. It's really amazing. And I've had teams doing outdoor ed activities where we've added encouragement, and the complete attitude and culture of the team changed in minutes.
Yeah.
Just when we added encouragement. Because everybody was in self-protection mode. They were in scarcity. But as soon as we added encouragement, people moved out of scarcity. And they started to believe that they have what it takes and that they can do it.
Wow.
That they are more than enough. Because scarcity drives you to the point where it's like, I'm not enough.
Yes.
But what
Which is
connection?
A core belief.
Yeah. So here we are again. But the connection worldview, the way we see the world, if we can see the world like we are enough, we have enough, then it's completely different. And just the way we see the world can change all of the outcomes.
Everything we do.
Yeah. So let me jump to the second element. The second element is mystery.
Okay, so going from certainty to mystery.
Yeah. So where instead of having everybody striving to make everything certain, which sounds like business, doesn't it? Yeah. To embrace the fact that there is mystery can be really helpful. It's like you can't understand everything.
No.
And you don't have to.
And sometimes things just work out. And how did that even happen?
That's right. That's right. And so there's actually a freedom that comes when you understand the world is full of mystery.
Yeah.
And you don't have to understand everything. And that means that you can let go of control. And if you can let go of control, you can let go of judgment. Yep.
This is big, Chris.
Which means that you can let go of expectations, which means you can let go of some of the measurement, particularly the unhelpful level. And all of a sudden, in the culture of a team, you've actually got some really healthy elements that can thrive. Yeah.
Wow.
That's really fascinating. Just by embracing the fact that there's mystery, there's things that you can't explain, and that's okay.
And in fact, that could be really good.
That could be really good.
Because maybe that's part of more than the enough.
Yeah. So let's journey into the mystery and see what we can find. That's right. That's right. And now all of a sudden we have an adventure mindset.
Right. Because
rather than a fixed mindset
stops
or controlling
us from
mindset.
Going out and trying new things and seeing what else is possible.
Because we have to be certain, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the third one.
That's so good.
Fallibility. Everybody's going to fail.
Huh.
We're all going to fail.
I was feeling so positive.
Yeah. So perfectionism says we can't handle any failure.
Yeah.
But understanding that we're all fallible says we have to embrace failure. Now, I really enjoyed some of Simon Sinek's work where he speaks about it's actually failure where you grow.
Yes.
And like we all know that.
But we don't really believe it.
And we don't operate like we can use that.
Yeah.
I remember our kid's primary school teacher.
Yes.
And first week he's like, guys, welcome to grade 3 or whatever it is. Everybody's going to fail, and I want to let you know that's okay. We're going to fail a lot, but failure is going to inform where we need to grow.
Right.
So if we have a separation worldview of perfection, we don't have a worldview that allows us to develop, grow, or risk.
Yeah.
Now, so that means you
Which
stifle
are all of the things you need for
creativity and innovation.
Entrepreneur.
You just shut that all down. But if we move across to a connection worldview and understand our fallibility, then we understand, okay, so... I'm
going to give this a go, and if it doesn't work out, oh well.
The SpaceX program, like how many rockets are going to blow up and not work? It's like you actually have to...
You have to
Elon
try.
had to go through that whole process of losing stuff and failure so he could figure out what could work.
Mm.
You know, like that's going to happen with every team, it's going to happen with every leader. But if we embrace the journey that we're fallible and that failure is going to happen, then we also embrace learning.
Yeah, and growth.
And growth. Now, I've worked with a lot of, particularly in the education space, a lot of places that value learning, but they don't value failure. And they don't value fallibility. You have to be
learn
perfect.
without failing.
Yeah, the goal of learning is to be perfect. So it kind of shoots itself in the foot, which is a really interesting with the culture and the dynamics. All right, fourth element then. So the separation worldview was self-interest, me first. You can guess.
Let me guess.
Go, drum roll.
Others?
Yes.
Other focus.
Yeah, others first.
Right.
So and so this is really fascinating. Like we're almost going old school here, actually caring about other people first. So this flies in the face of individualism.
Yes.
This, which is like probably the predominant culture in the West.
Yes.
Like it's all about me. I have to get where I want to get to. I have to get this much money. I have to get this house. I have to get this car. It's all about me. But it's completely the opposite. It's about how can I help somebody else? And so in the leadership space, we speak about servant leadership. So that's where this starts to tie in. It's other focused. How do I help other people achieve? And then the people I help achieve, how do they help somebody else achieve?
Yeah.
And so we get this almost pay it forward cycle of health. And that's what community is. It's like we're all joining together with our abilities and our gifts and our skills and helping other people at the stuff they're not good at.
Yeah.
So we have a guy here helping us with our videoing and our recording. He's really good at it and I'm not really good at it. Like we can't do this unless we lean on his strengths and abilities.
Right.
In our marriage, we lean on each other's strengths and abilities. So we become other focused. It's like, okay, we need to do this. Gretchen, what do you think about that? And you're like, for something, Chris, how are we going to do that? And we become other focused so that we can have other people contribute out of their ability. So the things that come out of connection worldview are super fascinating because this is actually where we generate joy. Joy is going to come out of a connection.
That's an unexpected outcome.
Yeah.
Like good.
Yeah, yeah. And when we look at some of the cutting edge neuropsychologists, they say a healthy brain always returns to joy.
So how does this worldview, this connection worldview, actually bring about joy?
So I'll flip it. So loneliness is going to come out of a separation worldview because it's all about disconnection.
Yeah.
It's all about not being connected. The way I solve every problem is to get rid of everything else that's not helping me, separate, so that I can just control and get what I want, which means you end up by yourself.
So true.
There's no connection. But you jump into how we're built and actually made. We're actually made for relational connection.
Yes.
And so if we move into a connection worldview and we have healthy connections, that's joyful. That fills us with joy because connection is always going to lead to joy. Yeah.
Well, unless the connection goes bad.
Yes. Yeah, unless the connection goes bad.
So that's why we have you, Chris, as our relational coach to help us to have good connection.
Move into healthy, healthy personal development so that we have healthy connection. Because hurt people and healed people heal people. Yes.
Yeah.
So like growth mindset's possible in a connection worldview. Why? Because we're embracing fallibility and our mistakes lead to our growth. In the business sector where we want to actually multiply things, we want things to grow and expand, that's really only possible in a connection worldview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. And I can just see that if we were...
Healthy multiplication.
Right. If we had an environment where everybody feels safe to share and everybody's encouraged to share and everybody's ideas are valid and like great, and even if they're not great, like we still put them on the table and we play with them and figure it out.
Yep.
Like just who knows what innovation will come and what creative ideas.
That's right. Yeah.
That's very exciting.
So I hold to this belief that everybody's amazing.
Yes, I definitely know that.
So we put a whole lot of people in a team and there's clash. It's personality, it's core belief issues like we spoke about the last two podcasts.
The way I want to do it compared to the way you want to do it.
Yeah, but if we stay in a separation worldview, so we're not connected to them, when we get to conflict, it's just going to lead to the removal of people and what they bring.
Yeah.
So they can't use their assets. But what would it be like if we had a team that embraced a connection worldview? Yeah. So now we're working together, we're working to solve problems, we're working, no matter what happens, what friction happens, we're staying connected, we're working at staying connected.
Yes.
Inside you and me, we have enough to work through this problem. We don't know the answer yet, it's a bit of a mystery, but we're going to find out.
Yep.
We're both going to fail, everyone's going to fail, but we can handle that.
We're going to get back up again.
Yeah, we're going to get back up again. It's that resilience, it's that learning journey, it's that developmental journey. And we're going to stay other focused. Like, how are you feeling? How am I feeling? What are you thinking? What am I thinking? And we're sharing that. This recipe for connection is going to help people go through the process of team development so we can get to the point where a team can perform really well. Not performing to be perfect, but performing to stay connected so that we can solve problems really well.
The goal and the outcome that is required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without using these words, I think back at some of the best leaders I've ever seen, and they're all connection worldview. Even though they don't say it or know it, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yep. And the leaders that I've met that have really struggled, they're actually separation worldview. They're seeing the world through separation, not seeing the world through connection.
That's great, Chris. That's given me a lot to think about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope it gives our listeners a lot to think about as well.
It will.
Some of the things that might really come up for you might actually require some journaling time. So my questions now to our listeners. So where do you find separation and connection happening in your life?
Right.
Where do you find that you're thinking scarcity? You're trying to find the one way. You're thinking perfectionistically. You're thinking really only about yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Where is that operating for you, and what would it be like for you to come across and try a different worldview and embrace that you are enough, that there will be a mystery, there will be failure, but failure is actually going to help you succeed, and be focused on other people, because that's how that mindset, that worldview is actually what's going to generate the healthiest response for people, for teams, and for cultures.
So good. I can see in my life, Chris, that I've got some areas operating in one, some areas operating the other.
Yep.
And probably more in the separation, to be honest, which is quite confronting. But then I can see the bits. So maybe that for our listeners too, it's an encouragement like that we probably can't swap overnight to the connection model, but to begin to expand that and grow that where that is in our lives already.
Yep.
And see that expand.
It's good. Yeah. Well, in that space, I can see that understanding this worldview and seeing what's behind that, what are our core beliefs underneath that. Wow. And I know when you explained core beliefs and how we heal and change core beliefs, then there are some practical thought changes that we can do.
True.
There's going to be a lot of emotional baggage that we might need a therapist, a coach, a counselor, a psychologist to help us with, to deal with. There could be some root family issues that people need to deal with. So I can see where separation worldview was a big part of my family, but also where connection was a big part of my family. And I've just carried those things through. I think my purpose is to generate more and more connection worldview in me, so that our marriage thrives, so that our kids thrive, and then the businesses that I help get healthier and healthier. Yeah. And so we want to invite people onto that journey. Yeah. What would it be like if you could generate more and more connection worldview and a connection approach to everything that you do? So I remember Jamie Winship, when he shared this, the first time I heard it, he said he shared it, with a room full of some of the smartest people at Harvard, a whole bunch of fellows, and they all agreed they're in separation worldview. And he said, so who wants to come across to connection worldview? And they all said no. And I thought that was super fascinating. And for me, when I heard that, I thought they're all still in fear. They're all in FOMO. They're all in fear of what they're going to miss out of. And so maybe as a psychologist, this might be the point, and we could do this in another one. How do we actually get out of fear so that we can change the way that we see the world, the way that we see the world? Yeah. Because the way that we see the world is defining a lot of what we do and why we're doing it. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to wrap that up there. So this was, I don't know what episode we're up to here, but thank you for joining us on this episode of Leadwell at the Lighthouse. And I'm Chris and Gretchen signing off. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Hey, this is Chris at the Lighthouse. Thanks for listening to our podcast, Leadwell. Produced at the Lighthouse in conjunction with Story Films. Help us share by following us on Spotify and YouTube. You know how to do that. Thank you so much for helping us build communities led by healthy leaders.